following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbb-radio.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Probably not many ladies watching this, for being honest. But welcome back to the Zach Squared Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Maranto. Joining me today, as always, my co-host, Zach Cease.
How's it going?
And then we got my brother, Christian. Welcome.
Yeah.
We got my dad just with us today doing tech work as always because he's got nothing else to do on a Thursday night.
Is that Greaseman?
I'm an old retired guy.
Yeah, he's
I
retired.
got nothing to do. I'm just wandering around making podcasts.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a bit of a break. Sabre season started, so I've been a little bit preoccupied on my nights. Zach's been working.
Sabres on the warpath.
Yeah, Sabres on the warpath. Bills are on a warpath. Chelsea's Chelsea right now. Just kind of waiting for the World Cup to come around, but you know, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, probably not. Never. No, we won't. But it's fine.
Todd Bowley's at the wheel.
Graham Potter's at the wheel. I'm sure he'll cast some spells on the team while we're at World Cup. So, but no, we can't. Between a mixture of just players never being able to stay fit and just terrible tactical decisions against easy teams, we just, you know.
Let's go Brighton.
Yeah. But
we love Brighton.
anyways, you're probably looking at this camera and saying, "That's not a new beer," and you're right. I got a Mickey. I grabbed the fat tire and it was expired. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna
Drink the expired beer. Come on.
I'm gonna save my digestive system. So there's nothing I really need to say about a Mickey. I'll just give her the good old crack for the ASMR fans out there.
I'm gonna take a swig.
I got something I really don't expect myself to like, but it was different. It was in my fridge. I can't find the expiration date, but it's probably expired.
That's always a great sign. You have 2 expired drinks that we're supposed to have today, but you know,
Yeah.
is what it is.
But I got a Bud Light Seltzer, the tie-dyes. It's a blue raspberry.
I got a refreshing Polar Springs water.
Let's see what this goes like.
Yes to your water.
And that's tier water.
It
It is that. And Poland Springs is a better tier
honestly,
water by far. Yes, actually.
In terms of Bud Light Seltzers and how much hate we give them, this is not bad.
Maybe it's because it's expired.
It tastes better because it's
It
7 years
tastes like
old.
a Jolly Rancher, to be honest.
This does smell like a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
We will sell no seltzer before it's time.
This is just a melted blue Jolly Rancher.
Right.
That's all that is. Yeah.
It tastes like a freezer.
That's
Mickey's-
literally what that tastes like.
There's nothing I need to say about Mickey's. It's a flat 9.0.
And I would know because like we had a bag of Jolly Ranchers. No, we had a big bag of Halloween candy that we were gonna hand out to kids, and I ate every Jolly Rancher out of it before before the kids came on
how
Halloween.
many trick-or-treaters did you have?
I don't know. We didn't have. There wasn't that much, right?
We never have a lot on our street.
We have like a kind
did-
of weird dead
we,
end.
we are
Not dead
as
ends,
busy
but,
as, say, like your old street where you used
Yeah.
to live.
Yeah.
But our streets, very, you know, we had a lot. We didn't get a lot of teenagers. We got a lot of younger kids with their parents and like
always nice.
people that were with families. Like we didn't get a lot of teenagers. And then it started to rain by about 6:30, which is usually when you start to get all the teenagers at the end. And I think that the rain just kind of killed it. So
Take a guess at how many we had.
0.
We had one.
But
Was it you?
No, it was one girl.
Did
She
you
was
go
like
out the
going-
back door with a costume on and then go around and then just get candy?
See the
I had
Was there?
everyone-
But there's probably no
That's a
trick or
lot.
treating on that
the
street,
return
right?
on
No, I think we've maybe had 5 people total since we lived there.
Wow.
the return on investment in Lewiston's not high because you have to walk farther between houses. So they drive somewhere else where the
Yeah,
houses
they
are
drive to
closest
the-
together.
They probably go down to the village where the houses
Yeah.
are kind of more like LaSalle or something, where
Right.
they're like next to each other. So.
But
yeah, more density. More
Yeah.
population density.
Thank you, Emerge. Thank you, Matt Johnson, BICP.com. I think that's all we really got to shout out. I would say we'll promise to be more consistent, but you guys
That's
probably
not
can't
true.
guarantee this. We can't guarantee that. We'll never guarantee that. We'll say it, but we'll never guarantee it. So I'm not even going to guarantee it anymore. But we're going to start with a topic that's been somewhat, not want to say trending, but I've been seeing a little bit on social media. It kind of plays into our topic we ask all of our guests. Christian's already answered the topic before.
This is a dumb question, by the way.
Yeah, I
this
think
is-
so. I think so
This is a
too.
very
See,
easy answer.
I'll let
Yeah.
you guys answer, and then I want you to just listen and hear my reasoning afterwards.
All right,
All right.
then we'll make fun of
So the question is, would you rather fight 10 100-year-olds or 100 10-year-olds?
it. This isn't close.
You want to say it on 3?
Sure.
1,
1,
2, 3.
3.
10
100-year-olds.
100-year-olds.
Yes. It's like
See,
it's not close.
10, 100.
Have you ever met a?
Yeah.
I disagree. See.
What? Are you?
So
What?
you
this is-
punch them in the
this
bone.
thing is,
Zach,
listen,
All right, no, let me
listen,
let him talk.
listen,
Let's let him talk, and then I'll give my
Don't
answer.
interrupt. Just let me talk.
Yeah, sure.
So here's the thing.
for you to
Yeah, let's
go
go. Yeah.
off.
There is absolutely no joy in beating up 10 old people. I don't like old people.
I don't care about
like
joy.
children
This
that
is your
much.
personal
about-
vendetta
this is
against
about-
10-year-olds.
This
No,
is
it's not.
efficiency.
It's not. No, this
is about efficiency, Zach.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. This isn't about like see the thing is like if I punch a 100-year-old, it's just
Zach,
like,
you don't gotta punch him. Zach, they're 100.
No, but this is
You
it's
gotta,
just,
Zach, you gotta push him on the forehead
Dude,
with your pointer
dude,
finger.
he's gonna die.
And they're gonna
without-
fall
with
over.
me without
What
me
do you
touching him
mean?
in the
Is this-
first place.
you have to fight him to the death?
No, it's
Oh,
yeah.
Just
You're
saying.
gonna get
Just
put you in a
saying.
cage with
That's
110
just
So,
year
I
olds.
think what you're trying to say
the next
is-
day anyways. You're gonna be fighting the guys in the fucking like.
Fight
The
in
problem
like,
is fighting
nursing
the
home.
10, 100-year-olds. You're going to kill them.
Zach,
No, I'm not.
By
That's my
accident,
thing.
but
You're
not
gonna
even
kill
without
them.
even trying is what you're
The
trying to
children
say,
is
right?
like you're teaching them a life lesson.
Zach, Zach, all you have to do with the 100-year-old is literally you can deal with them one at a time.
no, but
They
this
literally
is-
cannot group up on you. It's
this isn't-
impossible.
This isn't about.
Dude, you could deal with
this
one,
isn't about
watch all the
victory.
Lord of the Rings
What do you
movies,
want?
and then
It's
deal
we're
with the next
fighting.
one.
This
What do you
isn't
mean it's not
about
about victory?
victory.
What are you fighting for if not
Well,
victory?
here's my logic.
To
I
fight
said
kids,
to
'cause he
fight,
hates
yeah, to
kids.
fight kids.
I said
for
in
the
the fourth
sport
grader
of
bit
fighting
multiple
kids.
times in the fourth grader bit.
Sorry.
In the fourth grade bit, I said multiple times.
Yeah.
I would beat over 100 fourth graders in a fight. So, this is children that we're talking about. So I think I'd win either way. What would satisfy me more, beating up 10 old people or beating up 100 children? And 100 children would satisfy me way more than 10 old people.
Yeah, but it's about like
I hate children
but
more
I'm-
than I hate old
Zach,
people.
I'm
the
lazy.
point
That's
you're
exactly why
making
you wanna
is
fight
I'm
them.
lazy.
the key
though.
word in the question is rather.
Yes.
But I'm lazy though. Like sure, yes, but like you don't have to hurt the 100-year-old.
There's nothing enjoyable about the 100-year-old.
You can deal with them one at a time. You know,
What's
like the
enjoyable
like, you know,
about
like the
fighting the
movies where
10-year-olds?
like the bot where like all the henchmen fight you one at a time. That's
a lot
the,
of
that's the
built-up
100-year-old.
rage, I guess.
Oh, my
and-
God.
Like
For
this,
anybody-
literally all you have to do with you don't have to
For
hurt
any
them,
future
Zach.
employers watching, this is all for entertainment purposes. But
I'd beat the old
Because
people's
here's the
heads to a pulp.
Because here's the thing.
For any future 100-year-olds you
You-
see
you
at the
can-
corner
no,
store.
they're not gonna remember this anyways if they hear it. So.
Yeah, no, there we go.
You can beat
No,
all
but
the
here's the thing.
100-year-olds without breaking a
Like,
sweat.
It's yes, but there's the thing with like 100-year-olds. It's like it's just rude.
Zach, you're not
Like,
beating
It's
them
rude
up,
to
though.
beat up kids.
No, it's the
They're
kids.
just kids.
The kids are teaching a life lesson to. Like the 100-year-old.
I gotta
You're
say-
not though.
You're
You're still getting out of the fight with a 110-year-old
Here's my point. Here's my point about the 100-year-olds. They probably all fought in World War II.
I'm literally just
I'm
gonna,
literally taking out guys who were in the Greatest Generation, and the last
But
thing,
you're
Those guys
the
probably-
last
you
moment
don't
in their
have to-
lives
I went up to
is me
guys,
beating up a
guys,
guy who
I
fought
could beat them. Hitler
Nazis.
could've-
Guys, you're not
Like, I
understanding.
think
They're
that's-
100. All you have to do is like lightly pick them up and lay them down.
It's
and
not-
then they
it's
can't
not
get
about
up.
beating
That's
them up.
the fight. You're not beating them up. You're just putting them down.
It's not about.
like you're just,
It's not about the more. It's like it's just
they
like,
can't sit up.
They're 100.
I'm gonna get that
It's
hard.
just rude.
They need like a ladder or something to get up. Like
It's just it's more, the question for me is who would I rather disrespect?
I'm gonna blow on them and
or
they're gonna
100-year-olds. And
blow-
100%, I'd rather disrespect 10-year-olds than 100-year-olds.
Zach, I'm gonna blow on them and they're gonna blow away like Thanos, like getting like snapped at the
You're
end of
gonna
the
punch them.
movie.
They're not gonna remember 2 minutes or 2 seconds later that you punched them. It's just rude.
I don't. Again, I'm not.
So
punching
maybe
them.
this question would have been easier, like because it should have been like, would you rather fight
This is rather.
70
Would you rather be,
7-year-olds or 70-year-olds?
which like
Like, maybe
arguably-
if it wasn't 10 and
You
100.
know, if it was 70, give me the old people.
All
all
right,
day
which
long.
semi-defenseless group would you rather beat up? Is the question actually
Whoa,
here?
the children
That's
aren't,
basically
the children aren't defenseless.
they're
They
10.
They're children.
They can
They're
at least
10.
They're
move.
children.
They can move. The old people
you're,
can't
so
even
you're
move.
admitting that like it's all right, fair enough, whatever, yeah.
You guys weren't defenseless when you were 7 years old.
All right,
Christian.
all right,
you
here's
would
the
run around the
question.
playground.
Who
like,
do you get more in trouble
beating
for?
kids
Like,
up.
say you're like getting an assault charge, you sucker punch someone. Who do you get more in trouble for? Sucker punching the 100-year-old or the 10-year-old? Who does the,
I
who
think
does
the
the
10 I
judge
think
gonna
the
sentence you
100-year-old.
more?
No.
I think the
I
100-year-old.
don't think it makes a difference either way. I think it's just
That's
assault
like a
is
hate
assault.
crime
No,
towards
no,
old
you get more.
people.
If you think you get
Only
the
if
same
they're,
amount
like,
of
lonely
assault
or
for punching a
in this case
10-year-old as like a
scenario-
20-year-old, you're lying to
In this
yourself.
case scenario, the police aren't involved.
Again,
What? What is this?
If they are lonely,
It's a hypothetical
100-year-olds.
situation. Are
Again-
you gonna fight 10 100-year-olds anyway?
if social
Yes,
media
fucking
finds
matter.
out,
Zach, give me a 110-year-old.
Headphone
if,
warning for this episode.
if social media finds out you beat up like a guy who fought Nazis,
That's fine.
they're gonna burn your house down.
But they're lonely old people. They don't have families. They're not gonna call 911 because they're gonna forget they got punched.
It's gonna maybe he's got a
forget,
cell
man.
phone or
It's not gonna
he's
survive
got a
the
rotary
impact.
phone or
A
something.
flip phone.
Tweets it out. With
All
the
right, can we
flip
move
phone.
on?
Yeah, we've
This
certainly.
is gonna be brain rot.
We'd like to apologize.
This is
Emerge would like to apologize.
Those
to
have to do
everyone
what the fuck
for
he
this
wants.
episode.
This is a
All
definitely.
right, so we've
headphone
established
warning.
Zach wants to beat up like.
No,
Violently
no, no,
to
no,
a
no,
10-year-old.
no.
I would
no.
lightly put
If
down
you're giving me the
100-year-olds.
option-
To all my future employers, I would lightly put down 100-year-olds on the ground where they couldn't fight. But Zach would actively punch all the 10-year-olds.
Zach
Who said
wants
I-
to mush him like
who
grapes.
said I'm
and
using
drink
brute
them.
Zach
force?
would get the car.
I think we should move on.
Zach would- Brute force.
No one said I'm using brute force. I never said I was gonna like kill
Zach's
them.
bringing
I
out
just
a
said I was gonna
tomahawk,
win.
and he's gonna like this.
I'm not bringing a tomahawk. What? Future employers, this is. I can put my hand over the Bible. This is none of my words. Okay, I do not say anything I said. I do not truly believe. This is just for entertainment purposes. Anything he said does not reflect my actions or my words or my choices in life. But
Mine do.
anyways,
Laying down them old people.
Yes,
All right,
he's, like,
anyways.
lightly putting them down
Uh,
in bed.
moving on. This is the one time we'll talk about soccer where you fuckers better listen. I don't know if you do listen or not.
I'm not gonna listen.
But
I'm just kidding.
Well, anyways, so we're gonna do a little bit of a World Cup review with it being right around the corner. We got a couple weeks to go. Maybe we could wait a little bit, but we're gonna do it now anyways.
We're gonna
Um,
rate Qatar as a country first.
We're not doing
I'm
this.
just-
It's rigged again. It's a Korea all over.
It is gonna be. I guarantee you, they're gonna get some. crazy
Ignore me
calls,
derailing
but
the conversation, please.
Leave the Christian to derail a conversation.
Yeah, it's my specialty.
But so I guess we're gonna go with who we think's gonna win, who we think's gonna win the Golden Boot, which is top scorer for anybody that doesn't follow soccer. Who do we think is gonna be the best player at the tournament? Who do we think is the underdog or like the Cinderella story?
The dark horse.
I gotta
Yeah,
pull
dark
this up.
horse. And who do we think is gonna be the biggest underachiever?
Okay.
So let's start off with the big
What's the
one.
first one we're
Who do you think's winning it all?
Argentina against Portugal.
No.
No. Portugal in the final.
They had a better coach, maybe.
Yeah, they had.
They have the team to do it, but their coach is a moron.
All right.
No, probably Brazil.
Who do you think we're just gonna win?
I don't know how Brazil loses.
Do we know like what side of the bracket people will be?
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Oh, we do. You're right. Okay.
It shows it on FootMob. Shout out FootMob, great app. Sponsor us.
So how far does Brazil have to go before they meet like the next best team?
Well, looking at it, so they're in Group G. They have Cameroon, Serbia, Switzerland. They're gonna walk their group like it's nothing.
Okay, who
And
are
then
the? Here's a good way to do
they'll
it.
face either
Who is-
Ghana.
I'm
Who are the
looking at it.
contenders? Who are the actual
Well,
contenders?
I would say Brazil, Argentina, Spain's a weird one.
No, they're
I
like
would
a
give
dark horse.
Spain. I would give Spain the best coach. I think.
Spain's-
They're like the dark horse in my opinion.
Argentina, I wouldn't call Spain a dark
I wouldn't say
horse.
dark horse.
No, but like they don't have like the crazy like they're
I
all
mean,
young.
Argentina's top.
I would say
Argentina.
my three, if I had to think three off the top of my head, it's Argentina, Spain, Brazil, are my three that I think are most
I
inclined
think
to win.
France.
I think France
I
are
think-
going on in the group stage.
I think France breaks the
They have
curse.
injury issues.
That's my prediction for biggest
Who's in their
for
group?
biggest flop. I think they'll get out of the group, but they'll
Actually, their group's
lose.
not good. So.
They'll lose. I think they'll lose the group to Denmark,
Denmark's gonna win the group. Yeah.
and then the problem is if they come second, then they have to face Argentina. And I think Argentina
Denmark's
gets
a
the
unit.
revenge from the last World Cup, and Argentina knocks them out in the round of 16.
Denmark is a unit that does like.
I
they-
think
they
Denmark
play
wins that
well.
group.
Like Denmark has played well as a team for like 5 years now.
I'm not just saying Denmark because I'm learning Danish currently.
Why are you learning Danish?
You didn't know this?
No.
How'd you not know this?
So why are you learning Danish?
Because I told you before. I
He
said
wants to go to Copenhagen and speak
I want to go to
Danish.
Copenhagen and be able to speak Danish.
Are you just trying to pick up Danish girls?
No.
It's trying to pick up
I just want to learn a language that nobody
It's like-
knows.
That
That's
is, this is
I just want to learn a language that nobody knows.
you're gonna put like, look, my future employer, I speak Danish, and they're gonna
Hey.
be like, wow,
Trying
we're
to
not
say,
gonna.
I'm
If they get
different.
if they get a Danish
It's
player
like,
though,
wow,
they get a
that's
Danish
not
player though.
not
it's-
helpful.
There you go.
It's not.
You'll be the guy that can
I
talk to the
I never
Danish
said I
player.
wanted something that was helpful. I just said I wanted to learn a cool language that not that many people would know.
And Danish doesn't seem like a hard one to learn because it's very
so
similar
far.
to.
I mean, it's the way I.
Scandinavian-ish
they're both
stuff is
based on
similar to-
Latin.
Yeah,
so
I'm
they
using
kinda
Duolingo.
have-
It's.
yeah.
I mean, like there's some
Duolingo.
words that will do the exact same thing or like look exactly.
Yeah, some of the
same.
Scandinavian stuff is weirdly
like-
similar to
Like
English.
sandwich is sandwich.
Yeah.
Egg is egg. It's just that weird AE letter and then G.
Yeah, there's a weird thing with
Like,
like
it's just
Norwegian especially.
salt
There's
is-
some
is
weird
salt.
thing where like there's certain sentences in like Norwegian and shit that will basically just sound like someone saying something in English, but like really kind of like mispronounced. So
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of weird.
Anyway, get to the
mighty-
soccer.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
so
we're gonna
but back
we're talking
to
about soccer.
back to Dad's initial question about Brazil though. Before I really got interrupted.
I don't know.
So if they win their group, they face the winner or the second place person in Portugal's group, which will most likely be Uruguay. So they'll smoke
Yeah,
Uruguay,
they smoke Uruguay at this point.
and then where are they? So then they face the winner of 1E and 2F, which 1E presumably
Germany.
would be Germany or Spain, and then
Either Croatia.
and then probably Croatia. I would say would be. I mean, obviously there's
don't-
always.
I
I
actually
think
don't- I don't-
Croatia's going to do better than
I
Belgium.
think Croatia's probably not going to do well.
I think they're going to do better.
They're
than
too
Belgium.
old and
I
they're
don't think
they're
it-
far too old.
I don't think age matters
It
as
does.
much.
I don't
and-
think it really does.
There's,
either.
I think
there's some
age
guys
is-
that are too far.
I think experience
old-
is an important
yeah.
aspect of World Cup. I think because they've been
It can go
but
both
they were
ways
the-
because
they
the
were the
1 year
second oldest team
Spain
in the
was
last
just
World
too
Cup.
old.
right, but I'm sure they haven't. That's not the
They
exact
also-
same team
their
as the
defense
team
is
4
also-
years ago.
They have Vardiol too.
Who? I
Yeah,
guess.
their
He was from
defense is
Leicester.
probably better than it was last time around. I would
Yeah,
say.
but
or
like
if not
also,
close.
like
Still
Modric
got
is still
Modric.
good, but like, but
I mean, Modric is still fantastic.
Yeah,
come on.
he's
yeah,
still-
but he's.
I mean,
but he's
but
not.
what-
But, Rodgers
yeah,
is
but, like-
not doing like what
yes,
he did
but
last time. this
Brozovic is
time.
better. Kovacic is better than he was back then.
Rakitic is
like-
significantly worse.
Yeah,
I
but
don't even think Rakitic will go.
he'll go, but he won't. He probably won't play. He actually might be retired.
Perisic is older.
Mario Pasolac is a solid player.
I just
Like
don't- I just don't-
Perisic is solid. Kramaric is solid. Like they
But
have some
regardless,
solid guys.
Yeah, but are they going to
They're,
beat?
I don't. They're not like.
How far are
They
they
didn't
going
have
to
a
go?
great team last
Who would
time
they?
around.
Who,
Like,
if,
a phenomenal
if they,
team last
so
time.
if they come in
So-
second in their group, let's say, who would they play to get out after the first round?
I don't think they're going to get out of their group.
Croatia,
Yeah,
they would. Well, that's the point. I think whoever Brazil's gonna in like would be the quarterfinal is gonna face either. We probably most likely play Germany or Spain. So I think Croatia would lose to Germany or Spain, and then once they get to the semifinal, then it's it's probably Argentina. So cause that's my thing is I don't think Brazil will like Yazzie was talking about an all South American final. It can't if they both win their groups, it can't even line up like that because they'll be on the same side of the bracket.
Exactly.
Because that's the only thing that you have to keep in mind with World Cup is like sometimes if there's like two good teams in a group and the brackets are like in the later groups and the brackets are kind of already forming. That's what England and Belgium did last time. They both just tried to tank the last game and ended up on the shit side of the bracket. That's why England made the semifinal. Like it's not like
What do
England
we
were
think about-
phenomenal. They just beat like average teams.
What do you think about Canada? I think Canada could easily get out of the group.
I think Alfonso Davies is gonna be.
That they
His
they
ex girlfriend
have
of
the best
5 years is
form.
already back. Like he's
I
broken
do-
for a month.
really-
They haven't had
He's
the best
gonna be-
form, but they won qualifying like over U.S.
I
and Mexico.
really
They're just
don't
not
think
better than-
Belgium's going to be good.
They 100% played better than both us and
So
Mexico.
why don't you just
during
look at the
qualifying.
groups then? So first group is Netherlands, and who's going to be the second team?
Oh, this is
Senegal.
probably a good way to go.
It doesn't matter because the second team's going to lose anyway.
Senegal might even win
Yeah.
that group.
but they're
Yeah.
But I think if you look at it though, Brazil, Argentina, and
right.
I would say I don't know.
I have no faith in England at all.
Who would
Like, I
England
don't-
play if they win their group?
England. They are winner of
Realistically.
Group B, so they face probably Senegal.
I think they get bodied by Senegal.
I
This
don't
try-
think they
No.
get body. Come
So
on.
I
England-
don't. I think
Come on.
England are about
Come
my
on.
personal.
What are you doing, dude?
My
Just
personal.
stop.
No,
Just
no,
stop.
no,
Just
no,
stop.
no.
My
Stop.
personal-
Senegal,
Stop.
no. Stop
Here's my
it.
thing. I
Stop.
think
Stop it.
I'm
Stop it.
going
Silly.
based off
Stop
of the fact
it.
that I think
Get some help.
or morons. First off, if you want to actually like
Bill
listen,
Foden will carry that team.
I think England are about to get embarrassed. That's my personal opinion here.
By who? By Senegal?
No, but I think they're literally going to embarrass themselves just with their own play.
Disagree.
I don't think
They
the
only
opposition
have
matters.
to play us, who stinks, Iran, and
Who
Wales.
stinks,
And
and
people-
Wales, who stinks.
Okay, like I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that England have been having such great results
But
against
they're
great
still-
Qualifiers
opposition
don't matter.
recently.
You've said it yourself because they always go undefeated in the qualifiers and
I
shit,
don't-
and
they
then they
didn't
go to
do
the
that.
World Cup and they suck.
They didn't even do that this time, did they?
So no, they didn't.
They're gonna be awful. That's
It
my
doesn't-
opinion.
They're going to be awful, but they're going to win the
They're gonna be
group.
horrible.
They're gonna be better than us,
They're-
than everybody in the
we're
group. They're gonna
awful.
beat Senegal.
And
like,
half
they'll
the
make
guy-
the
There
quarterfinals
isn't a single
comfortably.
good team in that group. Like
I
there
don't
Yeah,
think
but
there
they're
isn't a
they're
single
better
good
than
team
everybody
in
else.
form. There's not a single good team. One country is literally like it wants their own team to be banned. Iran fans literally want them to be banned from the World Cup. Like that's literally what's going on there.
Iran's
England's
not doing
horrible.
anything.
Wales is horrible, and we're horrible. So
yeah,
like
but England's less horrible than
they're less
all of
horrible
us.
than us.
Day,
Sure.
And they
not
do
horrible.
have guys like
it's World
Foden
Cup
and,
and
and
crap
Mount.
happens
What
at
are you-
World
Christian,
Cup.
Christian,
they've
what are
got-
you talking
England is
about?
horrible. It's nuts.
England's not horrible.
They're gonna be awful. That's
I-
my. I'm going.
They're
based
one of
off
the
my
best
own
squads
opinion
on
here.
paper.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
they have a
here,
lot of injuries.
what I will agree with England.
Yes.
I will agree with the fact that England's not going to go far, but they're going to win the group.
They-
and I feel
Southgate.
like
Their
if they
floor is the semifinal or the
Southgate.
quarterfinal.
exactly right,
They'll lose to Argentina. I think because they face Argentina if they make the quarterfinal.
They
They'll
won't-
lose to Argentina in the
yes.
You're
quarterfinal.
under-
they'll
underestimating
probably
Gareth
win
Southgate.
one game after the group
Actually,
stage,
let me double
and
check.
then
I
they'll
might be
out.
lying about that. I think I'm lying
Okay.
about
I think
that.
you're
it's
underestimating
Argentina.
Gareth.
I
Southgate.
think the only worrying thing for England is Kyle and James.
Sorry,
Reece
he
are
won't be-
better.
If they don't
He'll
have
be
Kyle and,
One of
They'll
them
be on
might
the
and
other
James,
side of
they
the
are in a
bracket.
bit of trouble.
One of them I
And
think
Walker
will
might
be
be
back.
out.
Here's the thing though. That I'm saying.
But
So
they're still
unless
going to win the
France-
group.
Unless France shows up
I
and
still have Trippier, Trent.
England literally.
France
got
shows- here's the
last
thing.
in their group
Hold on,
last
one at a
time.
time.
here's the thing. If France shows up, then they have a hard quarterfinal round. But if they don't show up, then their round of 16 is Senegal, assuming that everything goes as we expect, obviously, because it never does in World Cup.
No.
Then they're facing the winner of Group D, who is either France or Denmark, or the winner of the runner-up in C, which is probably Mexico. So they're a lot better than Mexico. Denmark gives them a good game. France gives them a good game. France might not even make it out of the group. No, in the World Cup curse, they won't. But I think they will. They'll get in the round of 16. They might not be on that side of the bracket, though. I think Denmark ends up on that side of the bracket. So they got to beat Denmark again, like they did in the semifinal. I think
again-
they'll beat Denmark again. They can beat Denmark again.
I don't disagree with yours. Like I don't disagree with any argument
So
here on paper.
I'm sorry
but
to
this
cut
is-
you off,
this-
but they have like a relatively easy run to the semifinal.
Well,
on paper,
my
theoretically, or
point,
possibly.
my point is I'm not disagreeing with anything on paper. This is entirely predicated off the idea that I think England are about to Euro 2016 this.
See,
like-
I think
Like that's
I
that's
just
the
disagree.
vibe. Like
just-
entirely
they just made
that
the
everyone
Euro
has
final
going
a
into this
year
tournament.
ago.
Like the English are not.
they just made the Euros a year ago. They went to the semifinal. I mean, granted, they had an easy
It's-
run, but their
where's
team wasn't
Italy,
that
though?
good.
But you have to think about it.
Like-
So many players in this team are injured, out of form, haven't played. You go look through the team. It's like, I am not
I
wrong
just-
about that at all.
Okay,
There's-
but
this team is
I
mismatched.
think
here's the
I
other
think
thing.
if they
I
get through, the group stage. Obviously, they probably win the group just because everybody else in it's terrible.
I think they have
and
another
we're
easy
even
run.
the
I
United
think
States.
that's
Like
my
if
thing.
the United States was at their best, maybe they could win the group. But they're not even going to have their best guys. They got guys hurt.
I think that's a
I just think it's
possibility.
gonna be a lot of teams. I think it's gonna be
But if
4
they-
teams
they
all
might win that-
underperforming
they-
and maybe have the chance to crawl
I-
over each other.
Here's-
That's my
here's
thought.
my thing with
60
England's
40,
team, though.
69 out of if they play whoever it is they're supposed to play first game out of the group stage 9 times 10 times 7 out of 3 they should win that game, but they could lose that game.
Yeah.
If they put the because with Southgate he puts the wrong lineup in, he doesn't put Foden in until the right time. Somebody goes down, and then we're
And
arguing.
again,
Here's
a lot of
here's
this
my
England-
thing though
Yeah, I'll
with
let you
England's
go, yeah.
team is just doing a very quick run through the team. I'm not saying he's going to play this because obviously Southgate never plays the same lineup. But just looking at their team, Pickford always plays good for England. He's been phenomenal for Everton this season.
Okay.
In the back, Stones always good for England. Maguire,
Best
Maguire's the
thing
biggest question.
Injuries, Maguire.
I mean, but then you have Trippier, who's been phenomenal for Newcastle, best Vincent League. You've been
Might
talking
be
about this
playing
earlier.
left mid
He's
or
not.
left back.
He's playing right back.
He's playing right back.
They don't have. They don't have right.
You don't think
two of
Trent's
the
gonna
right,
play
like
now?
you said, just the two best right backs are injured.
And he plays a
So,
defensive system.
you don't think
so
the-
you
Trent's
think
not
Trippier
gonna
So
goes
play.
there instead
Trippier,
of Trent?
probably Luke Shaw.
I think him.
Trent-
I think
Trippier
Trent,
will play over
Trippier,
Trent.
and
Trent is not
either
going to play.
Kyle or
Who's
Reece.
playing left back then?
It's Luke Shaw. He's if you've been paying attention, he's been playing good the last couple weeks
I don't
actually.
care, man. I don't,
And
I don't
he's
care.
been he's
I'm not
a
gonna-
trusted left back in the system.
I don't care.
What team are we playing that has a better left back than him? Are they playing that has a better left back than him?
That's not the point, man.
To be honest, there's not really many left backs
just
that
really
are
not
better
the
than
point.
him.
Exactly.
Like
That's
you got Theo Hernandez.
You can't laugh at him when he's one of the better left backs that'll be in the
World
tournament.
Cup works. Like
And I just think
you
you're
guys are really forgetting.
you're
like, how
also
these
just
group stages
you're acting
work.
like England's the United States.
Yeah.
It's England.
I'm not even like I'm just again. I'm not saying that my opinions are based on this. Is
I just think
all based on my
I don't.
vibe here. I think there's a level
You're welcome to have your opinion. You're welcome to believe
again,
it,
it's
but
just
I
my
just
opinion,
think
like-
just England.
I'm probably being
the
slightly
disrespect
harsh.
you have to England. I mean, they just made like I said, they made the Euro final like not even a year and a half ago.
I'm going on the
Like,
basis of.
So did Italy, though.
I'm going
I
in
mean,
the
so
basis of.
that's different though. They're not here.
They won it though.
Okay,
Yeah, now
they're still not
here.
here.
Yeah, now they're not.
Here's
So
my
they're not
most
here, though.
coherent
They fucked
argument
up
I
in
can give
qualifying.
to that. I'm going in based off the fact that the English have not had a win in their national team setup since June. And then again, some of those have been pretty embarrassing losses as well.
I mean, most of their games have been against like good teams though.
They were against Hungary. They have 2 losses to Hungary in
Okay,
that
and
time.
didn't Hungary win the group?
It's Hungary.
They still won the group.
We're going to talk here about U.S. and Iran being off on Wales.
It's not like they were the only team that struggled against Hungary. There was 2 other teams in the group that also
They
struggled against
drew
Hungary.
1-1
I
against
don't, either way, I
Germany
don't
and
care.
then beat Germany.
All right, moving on from that. But
Yeah.
swiftly, either way, there's no form there. And then secondly, there's a significant lack of form with many crucial members of the team that were players that got them farther into the World Cup that last time. There's been significant numbers
Well,
of injuries.
let's
There's
move
been
off of
significant
England.
numbers of,
But
that's
Cup was
my
won
thoughts
five-
on
Move
it.
Four
off
and a
of
half years
England.
ago.
Yeah.
Move off of England. You're spending 20 minutes on a team that
All right, either
nobody
way.
thinks is going to win World Cup.
True.
And when it comes right down to it, you're all kind of right.
Yeah,
But when you're right about the standpoint,
Anyway,
Zach.
we gotta move on to the next one.
You're right about the fact that sometimes in some of these games leading up to it, they don't really try as hard. People are going to work a lot harder when they get the World Cup.
Well,
They really
so
do.
This is my
You know.
I don't know about bold prediction, like necessarily bold prediction. But I think Foden's young player of the tournament.
I think
I don't even.
I think Foden shows the world. Not that we need an introduction to Foden necessarily, but I think Foden this World Cup shows the world exactly who he is, and he's arguably England's best
how
player.
old,
over
and here's
Kane.
my-
what's the youngest?
I
or
think it's like
oldest you could be?
22 and under. I want to say.
And
for
here's
young player.
here's my.
I could be wrong.
Do we
though.
know if Saka's hurt?
I think Saka's supposed to be fit. I
Okay.
think- I
Well,
think
then
he's
here's
out
then
for-
here's the thing. Then Foden's not going to even start.
I just don't know if I.
If
agree with
Foden
you.
doesn't start, then the guy should
don't
be
have-
like.
You do realize Sterling, Saka, Kane will be the
All right,
starting lineup
let's
almost
move
every
on
game,
from
right?
England,
Let's get
'cause
off
we're
of
never,
England.
We're never gonna agree
Let's get
on
off of
We gotta
England,
move though.
apparently.
Yeah.
Move off
either
of
way.
You know who
England.
I think's gonna have a really good World Cup? Valverde.
Actually, real quick.
He's gonna
so
drag.
do you
the
think
Uruguay
Foden will
team.
start? Real quick. That's my only question.
I think he should. I don't know if he will.
I don't think he will.
I think he
I think he
100%
should. That's not my
I
argument
think
here.
the reason why he starts is because the only way they would play a back five if Walker was fit, and assuming that Walker's not going to be fit for the entire tournament, they're not going to play a back five.
They also
And
have
he does
to-
not
they
trust.
also- they also have
Southgate
Tomori.
will do.
He also
I just-
doesn't trust Tomori. He's played
Yeah.
Tomori's played like 2 games for the national team.
I just don't think we
so-
have any idea what Southgate's capable. of.
No,
Well,
but
that's the
I
problem.
think Foden.
All right, moving on.
I
What
think-
else?
Yeah, moving on. Yeah.
So
Top goal scorer.
top goal scorer.
Messi. Simple.
Messi.
Not even close.
I think it's Messi and then
He's gonna
Kane
murder
for
everyone.
second.
He's gonna
Like, if
literally
England actually plays good, Kane will score the goals.
Argentina are on good form. He's on the best form he's been on in like 7 years. Like genuinely. Like what do you think is gonna? It's mid-season Messi form and going into a World Cup.
You said Messi's on the best form he's been in.
No, I said Messi's been on significant like overall
who's he,
play
who's he
form
played
here.
though?
Yeah, but still,
It's
like,
le-
He does it in
but
Champions
it's
League
World
too,
Cup.
though.
Like,
Against who though?
I don't. I don't think he's going to be the top goal scorer. I think he's going to have a tremendous World Cup. I don't think he's going to be the top goal scorer. I don't think we know who the top scorer is going to be.
well,
I
the
think
team
someone's
around
going to
him-
go
The team
off.
around him's never looked as good.
This is my. See, I'm not picking the obvious picks because the obvious picks never end up being the.
It's not gonna
that
be
happen.
Neymar.
Well,
Timo!
I won't be.
Timo just got
Timo's
hurt,
hurt.
so
Oh, really?
poor
Yeah,
he like
I
tore
didn't see
his,
that.
his ligament in his knee or whatever it was or whatever happened. But poor Timo missed. I mean,
Timo's been playing good too.
He's been
Yeah,
playing
for
solid,
Germany, yeah.
You know.
I think this is my bold prediction. I'm probably gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Give me Vinicius Jr. for top goal scorer.
No.
Vinicius Jr. gets
It's not
5.
how- It's not his role for the team.
They're going all 7 games in my opinion. They're gonna make the final. I think he scores the winner in the final.
Yeah,
and-
but they're gonna have so many attackers.
Gabriel
It's just gonna get spread
Jesus.
around. It's just gonna get spread around, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That team.
It's gonna be really
You have to
spread.
find the team that's.
Gimme.
You have to find the team that's going far. That's over reliant on one guy.
That's why I think it's Argentina.
That's not. That's think of Germany. There was nobody on that Germany team that, like in 2014, that was gonna be the top scorer.
I mean,
Like,
Miroslav Klose.
Was
Who
it-
do you think's going to be in
wasn't
the?
Muller
who's-
one off?
Which
Yeah,
two
I think
teams
Muller's
are
like
going to
five.
be?
but like everyone else is like 2.
Who do you
3,
think will
like,
be
it was,
the
like,
final
spread
4
around
teams?
so much?
Final
like,
4.
Argentina.
well, I gotta look at the. I think the one side's Argentina and Brazil.
Brazil.
I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Let me look at the other side though. I just gotta like kind of take a look really quick. Sorry, this is something we probably should prepare for a little bit more.
Probably.
So let's see. think England. It's a bold take, but
It's probably not. But
I think they will.
I think
The
England's.
semis.
I think they're
I think they
just
will.
looking at
when do
their
they
run
play
on paper.
France?
I'm
France is on the other side.
France is. I think it
France
depends on
is on the
what
same
France
side, I
does.
think.
Tell me
Right.
some other teams on that line.
Well, I just want to know who the other two
For love of
most
God.
likely teams are on the other
If
side.
France comes first their group, I think they're on the
Germany
other
or
side.
no?
They face
Or
Germany.
Spain?
They would have to face Germany.
And then
or
I
Spain.
think another team with a relatively looking at it on paper with a relatively easy run. I mean, 1F is Belgium and. Or it's probably Belgium.
Does Belgium have an
then
easy
1H
run?
is-
Does
Belgium
aren't
Portugal
good.
have an easy run?
I think Portugal is a relatively easy run.
You have to remember though, Belgium have the most horrific defense. Like,
No,
I've ever
and that's
seen.
why I
Like,
think-
Lukaku just got
Yeah.
hurt, might be out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Could Portugal make a run?
Belgium missed their moment.
Portugal is one of the best squads.
Here's the thing that's gonna.
absolutely.
I think is
Fucking
gonna
coach
happen.
awful.
Because of already all this shit going on in Qatar. I think that you're gonna watch the Argentina, you're gonna watch the Portugal games, and you're gonna be like, this referee is kind of sus. I think there's gonna be some really weird calls made for Argentina and Portugal because Qatar's. I'm sure something's going on in Qatar already as it is. If Messi, because Messi and Ronaldo are gonna be, if they both win their groups, are on for Portugal and Argentina. I should say. I should just narrow it down to them.
I don't
I don't
know
think Ronaldo will be Portugal's best player. I think Rafael will be Leao will be their best.
I will say,
player.
I don't know if I
But
agree with you, but I think this is a good point you've brought up. On like
I-
every single moment of this World Cup is going to be plagued with that line of thought because
Yes.
of everything that's led up
Absolutely.
to this.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yes.
even know if that's true at all, and I don't know
If
how
they
much I
both
believe
win
that.
their
But
group,
there's
they're
an
on opposite
idea
sides
of
of the
that now
bracket.
because of
It's
what
just
they've
yes.
done.
So
It just comes across as like
Yeah.
this is kind of sus. That the
And again-
chances that there's a possibility.
And again, my excitement for this is entirely like usually like there's at least some level of excitement for like the actual like tournament itself, like on the ground, and that no.
I'm completely excited.
Who's Portugal's top scorer?
No, like for the soccer, yes.
Who's
but
the
like,
best scorer in Portugal? I don't think it's going to
I
be Ronaldo.
I think Leao will be Portugal's best player if he plays. I don't know how
He's
he
not gonna
doesn't
play.
play at this point, but if
Where does he fit in a 4-4-2?
I feel like
He doesn't play, they play a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
They do play
make it-
4-3-3.
I
it'll
just
be
make
like
it perfect
Bernardo,
guy.
Ron, and
So I
Yeah.
mean,
That
the
should
usual
be it.
suspects. It's not Mbappe. It's not Neymar.
I think
Messi's got a pretty good chance
I think
of being the
Benzema's
top
one
scorer.
if France shows up could be top scorer. But I just feel like France is about to get hit with the same curse that all the winners get hit with.
I just
They
think that
could do
that
a
group is.
two-peat, though.
They could.
they
the thing
really
is,
could.
It's France, but that's what we said about Germany, and that's what we said about Spain, and that's
No,
what we
but
said about
even, like,
Italy. Like
Spain,
actually, we did
Spain
say that about
did,
Italy,
but like Germany, I don't know if we said they were gonna do a two-peat.
I don't know about two people. People thought Germany would go far again.
A lot of people were thinking France would win though.
France was like.
They were the clear.
I
favorites.
remember. I thought I'm a big
Belgium.
Deschamps
You
hater.
want to know what I think
Belgium
happens?
too.
So
Give it a shout.
I was a big France and Belgium hater, so I assume like just because the coaching was I thought was horrific.
To be fair, France looked horrible that entire World Cup.
They just played counter.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
such a boring.
But Tweety
style
was
of
playing
play.
left attacking.
Yeah.
mid.
Yeah,
Like
which to be fair, I think you're right that like France are probably gonna break the curse just because of their group. Even
Yeah,
though I think they have,
that's-
even though I think they have some major morale issues and they have some injury issues now.
then
too.
again, like Germany, I mean, Germany's one was weird because Mexico.
But
like,
yeah, Germany
always-
should have easily got out of that.
Like
group,
who
so.
got out? Mexico and Sweden, right? I think.
I think
Because
so,
then
yeah.
Korea beat them, but they didn't
Mhm.
make it out.
Dude, if
Exactly.
France gets out of the group and they get
I
like, top of
think
the
we
group,
gotta. I actually,
they're gonna be facing.
that's where I was
England
going to.
in the
I think
quarterfinals,
we're
and
going
that's
to.
done
I
for
think we're
England.
doing. I think we get a rematch. I think we get Argentina France again.
Yeah,
That's what it
he
looks
said
like is
earlier.
where it's coming.
That's what I think
and
is
I think
gonna happen.
Argentina wins this time.
I agree.
Okay, so like yeah, that's what I think is.
Because the thing is, I think with this time too is Argentina's
Which that
as
sets
much
up
as I
Messi's.
hate on
This
Lisandro
really sets up
Martinez,
Messi's.
He's had
This
it.
really sets up
Yeah.
Messi, though. I will say,
Oh,
if
yeah.
he kills the group stage, which he
Well,
probably will,
if there's
beats
any-
France and then goes into the late
I
stages,
s-
like
I,
that's
I
pretty.
don't think Argentina does it. I think it's Brazil's to lose, and I think for whatever reason too, there's always been like this thing with around Neymar in the World Cup. Like I feel like we hear about it every time. Like I mean, 2014 obviously, especially because it was in Brazil. And it was Neymar's first World Cup, and Neymar was predicted to be one of the players of the tournament.
Brazil's
he
too-
arguably could have been if he didn't get hurt.
Brazil might be too young
Nah,
in
No.
the attack.
I think
they play so well with each
to
other.
be fair,
don't-
it is only in the attack though, where the youth
Because I mean, like,
is.
yeah,
They have
Neymar.
so much depth.
Neymar's gonna be. I mean, I don't want to say the leader in the attack, but like
He will.
in a way, Neymar's the leader of that
I will say
attack.
it is good that Neymar for once actually like is like played
thing is,
well
though,
for an extended
because
period of
obviously
time,
The
like
whole
without getting hurt.
the whole thing too with Brazil is where's their balance? But it's just like when you have, I I mean, Casemiro.
But
I mean,
that-
Fred plays
you have-
really good
they
for
have
the
a
national
strong
team.
Fred,
defense and
Guimaraes,
allow the
Casemiro.
attackers
Yeah.
to
Like, what do
just
you
free
like?
Here's
I
something.
love Brazil to do it for my boy Thiago Silva too.
Here's
They're
the way
just
I
trying to love
here's
the
the
team
way I
play
look
with
at
Real
youth.
Madrid.
Like,
Here's the way I look at youth in this World Cup. It is going to be 147 degrees. I don't care what time they're playing these fucking games.
well, that's why it's the extended lineup.
I
and
don't
everything,
care.
too.
I don't. It's still hot,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think the team that has enough experience and enough youth and fitness is going to be the team that's going to go the farthest. And I just
think
don't
that's what
think
Brazil has.
Brazil has that. Argentina's a slightly older
To be
team.
fair, Argentina's
I'm
a
not
bit-
saying Messi's going to get hurt because he's old. I don't think.
Argentina's adjusted significantly in the last 2 years to the point where they have a lot younger team, a lot of new, like kind of like Alvarez is like a big
Yeah.
like, cut apart.
I mean, I would
like
say
players
Alvarez,
like that.
you mean
Unfortunately,
Well,
I
yeah,
think.
like guys like
Unfortunately,
that.
I think the
Alvarez
best
too
game's
much,
going to
but-
be probably the
Martinez
Argentina
plays
versus
up
the
that.
Brazil game. That's
I
going to
think
be the
that's a game's like
final,
a- I
and
think
then
that's a
it's
game
going to be.
guaranteed.
I think that's the game that everybody wants
The
to see.
semifinal.
That's
Yeah,
the game
'cause
I
whoever-
wanna
'cause
see.
Whoever
Yeah.
wins that'll probably win the final.
I
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
real
it is
quick, for the
a
other
South
side of the
American
bracket,
team to win.
like because like let's if it's not England, because I don't think it's England. Let's who's on that side of the bracket.
Germany, France.
Portugal.
I think
Portugal,
France ends up on
England.
that side if they.
That-
Well, France has to win
those
the group
four
to end
win
up
the
on
group.
that
Because
side. But let's
England
just-
and
then I
France
have to-
both
I-
can't collapse
where's
because they play each
Right.
other.
Where's
Yeah.
the
So
Netherlands?
one of them has to collapse less. So
If
Where's the
England-
Netherlands?
What?
I don't.
the
I think the Netherlands gonna have
Netherlands
a
is on the
stinky
top side
World
of the
Cup,
bracket.
bro.
I think they
Yeah.
get smoked by.
yeah, they don't get
they'll
past.
get. I think they have to face Argentina.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a
before
stinky
anyone.
World Cup.
So
They,
Who
they-
does?
Netherlands.
Yeah, I think so.
Who's
I think
scoring the
they'll.
goals?
I think they'll win their
Give
group.
it like
but
6 months ago, maybe they would have done it, but their form's been too all over the place.
Although one player that could be a surprise player, I'm not about surprised because I think what he's doing right now is getting relatively noticed.
Gakpo?
I think Gakpo is a player that could
Yeah, that's
surprise a
gotta
lot.
match
If
himself,
you don't
yeah.
know who Gakpo is, I think he's the player that could surprise a lot of people.
Actually, more
going
important than
around.
youth, though, I think you're gonna see some teams that because how many subs are there? How many subs are there? Like are there 5 or 3?
I'm assuming
I
it's
think it's
5.
five.
I
I'm
think-
pretty
I
sure
think
it's
most
five.
Because
leagues
obviously
have 5
they've
at this
extended
point.
the rosters as well to 28 instead of
Yeah.
25. I think low key, like this is gonna be the World Cup where like you're really these certain teams are gonna be very strategic with that.
Yeah.
Like we're to the point where
And-
there's certain teams that they're gonna use literally everyone
That's
because like
that
so
was-
many of these guys are out of like
That's my one thing about Argentina. Do they have the depth to do it? Their face lineup is very good, obviously, but do they have like let's say Lautaro Martinez, who's probably gonna be their starting striker, isn't playing very well. Who's coming on for him, and that's gonna change the game for them? Like who comes is Dybala? Is he really though gonna?
How many people
Here's
are
a-
really like that though? in
Here's
the World
another
Cup?
thing that we're not even
True,
thinking
but-
of. How tired are all these players?
I mean, they'll-
Because Guardiola.
I don't know if
gonna be
that's
a lot
true.
of injuries.
Guardiola.
I don't disagree with that.
Guardiola and Klopp have already been. It's October and it just turned to November. They've already been running around for the last 3 weeks talking about how tired their players are.
Yeah.
So if that's the state of the Prem, then that's what that also goes back into my England thing. Like how tired are these Prem players, especially the Prem players, like overall.
I mean,
like
they get a little bit of time to kind of. I mean, not relax.
it doesn't
but-
matter. Like the that 1 week is not like the.
But I mean, if they're tired, I think everyone's gonna have players that are tired.
Well, that's what I'm
So-
saying. Overall, like I don't think there's. It's very weird just judging this based off of
I
like
think
just the
the-
talent of these teams.
I don't know about
given that
the-
so much is this
Well,
mid-season World
we can't
Cup is
judge
so
it
weird.
based off of who's tired because we
I
don't
think-
know who's tired.
I think there's.
But I
gonna
think
be
you
a
can look at
lot
guys
of
who have been
injuries.
injured a ton and been out of form or been playing just like a ton of football and be like,
Yeah,
maybe
but
they're
it's-
less inclined to do well.
It's just
like
I
they're
think
more
it's
out
hard
of form.
to.
Like
It's always hard to base
the
players
rhythm's
off
gone,
what they're doing
maybe.
for their club because I mean, you guys like
Yeah.
Maguire that show up for their national team and then they look like they're worth like 5 cents when they play for their club.
Yeah.
well, that's
like-
been my thing
like
with
Sterling plays
like, yeah.
insane.
Yeah, like
for-
Sterling's
So, like,
great
here's
for
an
England, but he's,
example.
like,
Like,
average
here's
for
a guy
the
who's
club.
not super young, but he's
Not
not super
average,
old. A guy
but-
like De Bruyne. He plays all the time. And is he
I think he's
gonna
gonna get hurt.
is what?
I think he's gonna get
I
hurt.
I'm afraid he's gonna get hurt.
I think Belgium's a weird one.
I really
because-
think Belgium.
I don't think
But
Belgium-
I just
I don't
I'm
think
picking
Belgium-
up.
Belgium's
I
not
don't
going
even
very
mean
far
Belgium.
anyway,
I
don't
just
think
mean a
so.
guy like De Bruyne is the guy that I'm like. He's the guy that looks tired.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
because they lean on him. Like he wasn't playing, they weren't playing great the other day. They bring him in, and within 5, but they had to bring him in because they
Also-
need him.
also-
and then they kind of need him. They kind of need him for Belgium. So, but I mean, there's a lot
Also,
of
not
guys that
every
I think
player is
line
the-
up with what you're talking about.
Also, not every
Christian.
player is the grandest patriot in the world that is willing to put their life, body, and limb down for their national team. Maybe they also have a club team they care about.
No, but I
feel
think.
like.
I
And,
think
like,
with
yeah,
the
there
World,
is
I
some
think
of it,
World
but-
Cup is. I think World Cup is an exception.
Zach,
to
but
that.
true.
Yeah.
But
Not
like,
Euros,
but
but
it
World
can't
Cup,
be,
yes.
But it can't
Yeah.
be everyone.
No, but I think I don't think you're real for the better players that play in the better leagues. I think the World Cup. I mean, if you ask any player, like I think they'll say if you ask them World Cup or Champions League, I think majority would say World Cup.
I feel like even just like the honor of being in the squad, like
Yeah.
you don't even have to play, just going, like that's
Right.
a huge.
Like
thing.
there's players that start crying because they get called up for the first time. Like you don't see that when you don't see a player. I mean, you see some players cry when they get but usually it's like the guys that come from Brazil that came from nothing and they get a transfer to Real Madrid or whatever or Barca and then they.
Well, also
have,
I think there's a mental level to this too, because imagine if because one team
there's a mental level to everything
in that first week in the first game of the tournament, someone's gonna get hurt.
Well, there's always people that get hurt.
And now it's gonna be bad. Like they'll be, oh, you're done for the rest of the season. That's gonna happen, and then you're gonna be like, oh, we're not in the summer. And that will that is the thing that will maybe impact someone.
what you're
my
saying?
teammate just
let
went
me
out
ask you
for
a
the whole
question.
season.
So you mean there's guys that are going to be playing with that level of they're
watch
afraid of getting hurt?
If you are playing center back and your other center back who's plays for another big team suddenly runs out with an injury, you get his medical back and he's gone for 6 months.
I think
you think that's not going to be in the back of your mind?
I think there are guys.
That's not not everyone's the most mentally fortitude guy in the world.
The
There's
one
levels.
dynamic that I think is he's got a point, and I think I kind of agree with this. Let's assume you're a guy that's kind of on the rise, and you're playing pretty good for your club team, and you're up for a big contract.
It's
or
just
something,
human emotion.
And
That's
you
all
go to
it is.
World Cup and you get hurt, and I'm not saying a guy's going to slow down, but I think there is that element because it's not the summertime in between their seasons when they go off to World Cup and they get a chance to play for their national team. I definitely think there are some guys that want to win their league.
Not to mention, this is a
they're-
dystopian-ass World Cup.
Musiala is a perfect example.
There's a lot of people that don't want to go to this World Cup because of where it is.
Even the setting, setting that these players are going to be in potentially, some of the environment, training facilities, the hotels, the accommodation, it's
shit.
going to be weird.
Yeah.
It's not the most
It's a culture shock.
I think
for
the
sure.
problem.
It's 107 degrees.
I think the problem though is just I think not a problem. I think that where I disagree with your point is I think once you get there, it's kind of just going to be
Good
well,
point.
I'm here, I got to play. It's the World Cup. There's guys that are, I think especially with the being midseason, there's guys like Reese that are getting hurt that are would do anything to have played, and I think that they're gonna get there, and it's gonna. I think the moment's gonna kind of hit them when they get there. I'm like, okay,
I just
this
don't
is
like
the
to
World
think
Cup.
of. I just
This
don't
is
think
the
of
biggest
mentality
stage.
is so uniform.
This is the biggest stage in the world.
I just don't
It's
think
the
of
biggest
mentality
stage
among all these different
It's
players
not
is
just
so
the biggest
uniform.
stage in soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. It's the biggest stage in sports. It's the biggest stage. It doesn't. I don't care what the fucking Olympics. I don't care about anything. It's the biggest stage in sports. And I think at some point, it's
Doesn't make 'em
a lot
not
of those
human.
guys that no, I completely agree with
Think
you.
about what's her name
As
at the gymnastics girl.
I completely agree.
Literally-
But I don't think there's a guy that
Simone Biles, yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see a guy be like, I can't handle this. And I'm not saying that. I'm not
think
discrediting
there
to
could-
Simone
there
Biles
could
at all.
Well, I mean, I'm
completely
saying it's not
understand
like that
her
type of scenario where
point.
you can pull out like that, but
No,
it's
but
you're similar levels of that, and you.
And
can't-
obviously there will be people that are nervous, but I think it's only natural. I think
it's just sport.
well,
Just
there's the
because you're
scene in-
suddenly put a national team jersey on doesn't mean you're a grand
No,
unflappable
I
patriot
agree,
who
but
cannot,
just for example,
experience
if
mental
you just
hardship.
to use a TV show quote, you get the scene in the first season of Game of Thrones where Robb Stark's call the banners and his hand shaking and Theon asks him, "Are you nervous?" He's like, "I guess so." And he's like, "Good." He's like, "Why
I'm
is
not
that
saying
good?"
nerves
Because
are
that
all
means you're
bad.
not
That's not
stupid.
the idea.
I think there's always regardless. So I think there's always, regardless of who you are, I think there's some level of nerves going into the World Cup. So I think regardless of what your motivation is, I think everyone's nervous anyways.
See, that's why the USA is going to win it because everybody's
exactly.
plays in the
nobody
MLS.
sees us
So.
coming.
We're so
Nobody gives a
free,
fuck.
so we are gonna
Cup's
win
coming
it all.
home, baby.
What was the
Soccer's
next
coming
thing?
home.
So you got
Best
we
player.
we think that
Player
we
of the
think that
tournament.
Brazil's going to win.
Yeah.
We think Messi's going to get Golden Boot or
I
whatever
think
they
Vinicius
call
Player
it.
of the tournament.
Who's player of the? Oh,
Vinicius.
so wait, he's player of the tournament.
No, goal scorer. Now it's player of the tournament.
Okay, so here's my thing. If he
It's gonna
doesn't
be
win,
Messi.
if he
This is-
doesn't get Golden Boot, he gets player of the tournament
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Like,
No,
could
they
we
won't
just
do it again.
don't even waste
do it
my
again.
time. Just
They'll
give
do
it
it
to
again.
him now.
If
Just
Brazil
give it to
wins-
him so
He has
they
to get
can
to the
say
If
He has to
Brazil
get to a
wins,
final.
it's Neymar.
Zach, he has to get to a final.
if Neymar's not
I think
top,
if Brazil wins, Neymar. If
Yes.
Brazil wins, then
If-
Messi gets it. If Brazil, Argentina
No,
wins,
Brazil-
then,
no,
then
'cause
Messi still
I
gets
don't-
it.
I actually-
think Messi just gets it
I
regardless.
actually
to be
disagree.
honest.
I disagree because he's not going to make the final.
It's gonna be Mbappe.
who's not going to make the final?
Because Messi can't make the final if Brazil win. That's how that works.
Right. True.
So
But
like, and it's
I still
stupid.
think they'll
It's
just give it
stupid
to
to not
Still
give the
give
player
it
the
to
title
Messi.
to the final guys
But
in the final.
Messi
Doesn't
can
make
get
sense.
knocked out in the group stage,
It
and they
doesn't
still
even
give him
make
player of the
sense.
tournament.
It very much doesn't even make sense a lot of the time to give it to like unless there's a superhuman performance. Like to be fair,
This is not based on his quality. This
it's
is
weird
based on the
last-
corruption in
who won in
FIFA.
wait, who won in
UEFA.
2014? Messi.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's weird in 2014 and in 2018 that
I mean,
we
he got
had
to the
these
final though.
because again
He
like
did get to the
yeah.
final.
because obviously Modric got it too, and obviously the
just think-
opposition guy got it too. So again, both guys got to the final. Like both teams they fought were weirdly more of a group than individual talent. So like it was both very strange scenarios where we had two kind of units
Didn't
versus
both teams win the Golden Glove too? That one.
I think so.
Because
Yeah.
Neuer won it. I don't know.
Exactly,
If
both
Lloris won.
Neuer and I think
Did
Lloris.
Lloris- I don't think
I'm
Lloris
not sure
did.
who did.
No, they
I
conceded.
think-
I think they conceded pretty good.
Yeah, they
goals.
conceded
get
a
him
lot.
Who did get it?
I don't know.
I feel like, I think
Was it Casper Schmeichel?
no.
No.
I think was it? It might have been Courtois
I think it was.
because they remember
It
they
was-
won.
you're right,
remember
it was
they won.
Courtois.
They got third still.
Yeah, they were the
They
best
did get
team.
third,
They
yeah.
smoked
He was the
England
best
in
goalie.
the-
Oh, he did really good.
I
at
think
goal.
they
Yeah.
Belgium did not concede a lot of goals besides
Yeah.
the
No.
like. I don't think they conceded more than 2 goals besides the Japan game.
No.
I could be
Yeah.
wrong. I don't know. Somebody can.
And they
probably
came
fact
What
back.
check
year
me.
was this?
And they came back. Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, because didn't Alkin put like $20 on it? Like, he just went and gave $20, bet $20 to one of his friends who's really
Wait,
like into
Dark Horse
Turkish,
now?
Mark?
It was Courtois. Good call, Zach.
Yeah.
Dark Horse. now?
Look at the big brain.
Look at
the
the
ball
big
knowledge
brain
is
on Zach.
impeccable.
All right, so you have that it's more than likely think Brazil's going to win.
Yeah.
Golden Boot we decided was going to be
Messi.
Messi.
I said Vinicius, which is probably not going to happen. But I'm
player
still
of the
standing by my-
tournament is
Messi or
Messi.
Neymar.
Messi or
Depending-
Neymar.
Depending who wins
Yeah,
that
Messi.
semifinal.
if they don't win,
Guimaraes.
if they don't win, Golden Boot.
Whatever the two goes to the final, one of them is going to
Neymar's not going to get Golden Boot, but he could get player of the tournament.
I think Neymar
Yeah.
will. I won't say-
Gabriel Martinelli.
And then Golden Boot. I mean
Young
Golden
player
Glove.
of the tournament.
Shut up. No.
Gabriel Martinelli.
Golden Glove.
Golden Glove.
Are we taking a prediction on that, or we don't
Allison.
care? It doesn't really
Allison.
matter.
I think it's
there's no-
Allison.
Okay.
Argentina's guy.
Is it the guy? Is it the
Emi
goalie who
Martinez.
Is he
wins?
gonna be fit?
Emi
No,
Martinez runs
it's,
it back.
least goals.
Is he even fit? I don't
No,
know.
oh, it's least.
It's
go-
typically-
least
I
goals.
think it'll be
Yeah.
Allison. He's got
Okay.
strong.
Who's the
D in
American
front of him.
keeper? Give it to him.
Not
Johnson?
him.
No, I
Who's
think
the
it's
Senegal
You think
keeper?
it'll be
That's
him?
what I want to
Johnson's
know.
been playing.
The guy from Senegal,
That's
he's winning
fucking
it.
Edward Mendy?
Edward Mendy.
Yeah, that's what I don't think they're gonna do far because he's
Say
not
it,
looking
say
great.
it.
All right, so
Say
who's
it.
dark horse? Who's your dark horse winner?
With Edward Mendy, do you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
Edward Mendy.
Who's your dark horse winner for the World Cup?
This one's easy to me.
Who's yours?
Denmark.
That's who I was kind of.
Denmark are a good team. They who are building off of the last performance. Like their guy who should be dead is alive and he's gonna play. And he's they're gonna do
Zach,
something.
you better
like,
start working on how to say we
they're
won
kind
the
of at a
World
good
Cup
age.
in,
They're all-
I can
in Danish.
I can say
They got a
some
good
stuff
level
in
of, like,
You
Danish.
guys are sleeping on England, bro.
England are not
I
sleepers
don't,
though.
I don't think England are considered sleepers though.
Because again, if they do good, it's like okay, fine, they're England. But if they do bad, it's like oh, I was right. Like
I mean,
that's
I don't
literally
think
it. Like
Uruguay's going to go far, but I think they're going to have a
no,
good
they're
World
too
Cup.
old now. Like
I-
everyone
I
that's
don't- I don't
73
know.
years old. now.
Valverde is good, but I don't think they have enough apart from Valverde.
Yeah.
The problem
And,
with
like,
England
Araujo's not
is
even
And
going.
again,
Senegal
also
is
keep in
good.
mind what Valverde is.
Southgate.
So,
The problem
like-
is the Southgate. Some players that should be on the pitch may not even play.
Oh, yeah, like
So-
Jude Bellingham.
or
second
be in
best.
the
regardless of-
squad.
You know. So, but what about
It's
France?
Like
I mean,
Madison or like Tomori.
is
or
France
somebody
just
like
Madison,
that.
done?
Jude and Declan would
I
be
mean,
a
France-
gross midfield.
Yes, exactly.
I think France is.
Bale,
And they're gonna
Kane,
play
South-
like, and they're gonna be
Oh.
like, here's injured Henderson.
hold on, one at a
and,
time.
like,
One at a time.
guy
One at a
from
time. We're having
City
three
who played a game.
conversations. Who's your dark horse?
Senegal. Sadio Mane is going to go crazy. AFCON winners go crazy.
I would love to see an African team.
That's what I said.
go
I want
too.
Senegal to go
I
far.
wanna see
That's
them
why
go
I said I
crazy.
think Senegal could beat England.
I
I
don't
genuinely
think-
think
I
that's a
don't
thing
think
that
they'd
can
beat
I don't
happen.
think
in,
they'd beat England.
I don't think consistently
if the
across
United
the
States somehow
board.
did.
they're
But
just
then
not
who's
good
your
enough.
who's your
I think
dark
in
horse?
one game. Like,
Who's your
sure.
dark horse?
Denmark. I said Denmark.
Okay.
I think
Or
that,
like
so I
the-
think
or
Got a
Denmark.
Denmark. You got
Senegal.
Senegal.
just
Denmark.
to throw in a different answer because we all kind of I think Netherlands could make a run.
Dude, they're not gonna
The
score
problem is they're
goals.
on a hard side of the bracket.
And a lot of their
They're not gonna
players
score
lost
goals.
form. A lot of their guys
Yeah.
lost form.
I
when
just
they
think
needed
like
it.
it's like if like I said if Gakpo kind of takes that step up and becomes their main man, Depay actually shows up. I mean Virgil van Dijk's Virgil van statue right now. So I
So
mean,
are Germany and Spain on the other side of the bracket we established?
one of them will be on.
Germany will be on England's if they win. Spain will
Yeah.
be on the other one.
I think Spain I don't know who wins that group actually.
But I'm kind of looking
If
I
at.
don't
Spain wins
think
the
I
group,
don't
I
I
think
don't
they
think
can go
Spain's good enough. I think if Germany has a
reason
good run
I
of
rate-
form, again this is dark horse. If I had to pick a team that's reasonable, that I'm just going to say Germany, just because I feel like
Yeah.
Germany's got
they're
they're
considered a dark
so
horse, but I get what you
friggin'
mean.
embarrassed
That's
about
why
4
I was
years
thinking
ago,
Germany. I was like,
and we were there. I mean, there was
Well,
like
yeah,
the
they just
country
they
was
haven't
like.
improved enough.
Germany.
That's the
thing
reality.
Is
of
always
it.
like, who are they fucking playing up top? Are they play Kai Havertz? Like,
Hey, he's been
They don't
scoring,
even-
man. He
but
scored
that-
the other day.
But
I
Zach,
don't
keep in mind they
care.
won the World Cup without a striker scoring 10 goals. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but at least Closer was like helped the system out, and he had three younger guys because I might keep in
Thomas
mind.
Mueller was in the prime.
I don't think
too.
they're going to
Time-
win, and
Thomas
I'm going to
Muller,
pick them as a
Ozil,
dark
and
horse
Schürrle
because
whoever
Serge
else.
Gnabry's been tweaking.
they're still gonna just
they-
chuck on like 5 Bayern players though that all
the
play
prob-
together.
Well,
Like
I
Bayern's
Valdier.
good.
Yeah, no,
Musiala,
Musiala,
They're gonna
Gnabry,
put
Musiala-
Musiala,
Musiala's
Muller,
really
like
good,
Sane.
I
They're
think,
gonna put them
yeah.
all on the field at the same time. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Gundogan.
Spain's the weirdest team for me because like they're just
to be
too
fair, we didn't
young.
talk about Germany. We probably should have given Germany a little bit more because Germany
Yeah.
could be decent. Like,
They-
I think they
maybe.
will be good.
Like,
that's why I
they
feel
could
they
like
win
be
the group.
awful.
I
Who's
feel
their
like
back
Germany
line,
could be
I
a
guess,
dark
is
horse.
the-
That's my
Rudiger,
thing. Germany's
Brown.
defense is not good. It just isn't.
Who?
Germany's defense is not good. It's not good.
It's not terrible. Though.
No, it's not terrible.
It's a very
It's above
solid,
average.
But it's
yeah,
gone
it's
from
above
being
average.
towards the
But
better
but it's
ones in
gone,
the
but
tournament.
it's gone
still.
from being easily the most undisputed defense in the world in 2014 to being like you're just another European
See,
defense.
Here's the thing: is you think everybody sucks nowadays.
I do think everyone's
Yeah,
sucks.
you do.
So it's just
But
like,
look, there's not a single defender there that's anywhere near the quality of any of their back four defenders.
Is there
whoa,
is
whoa,
there
whoa,
a
whoa,
team?
whoa,
Rudiger?
Tony.
Oh, Tony.
Put some
Besides-
respect on
besides
my guy
Tony.
Tony's
Besides
name.
Tony, nobody else
But I
was
mean,
even.
like, even if
Is
you look
there
at
a
it, though,
Everyone else
team
is
in
subpar.
World Cup?
They have two left backs better
Is
than
there
the
a
Germany
team
left back.
in
I don't-
and
I don't
that's
know.
going to be
no,
in
they
World
just,
Cup?
They're not in terms of how they actually played.
No,
But-
but seriously, this is because
they let him
here's
through
the
the
funny
game.
Let
thing.
him talk, let him
Every
talk.
single one of these teams is piecemeal.
Yeah.
They got like it's kind of like high school in a sense.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of guys that are coming from this cool club team and this premier team, but then there's the one guy who's Matt Owens. He's not, no offense to Matt
Timo
Owens.
Kehrer, the worst center back in the Premier League. I fucking
But
hate that guy.
everybody's got a guy
Bro,
that's really
listen to these guys.
Listen, let me finish my
sure,
point.
yeah.
Every single team's got a guy that if he was in another country, he wouldn't make World Cup, but they need a guy to play left back or they need a left mid. So is there a team on defensively has a back four and a goalie that are just better than everybody else?
All right, this is what
I
they
think
got.
that's
in
Brazil.
Brazil. I think that's what
That's Brazil,
Brazil
and
and
that's why
France.
Brazil
I think
defense is
Okay,
going
but
to probably
does
win a
Germany play four?
championship this time because they'll be
okay.
able to contain.
Really quick
They're the
before you
most
go off
complete
on your
defense.
Germany rant.
Yeah, sure.
I just think that's my point. I think Brazil all around is just by far. on paper, obviously,
Brazil's the best team on
just,
paper, by
Just
far.
the
yeah.
most,
It's not
They're
close.
the most complete team.
Yes, they're the
'Cause
deepest.
like,
They're the best form
It would
by,
be
by
close.
far too.
Yes.
They're in the best form by
The thing is,
significant
like,
amount.
if you
Every
look at
Brazil
their back
player's in
line-
good form.
the only position you can
stupid.
really question for Brazil is left back.
Yeah, that's kind of and that's
Yeah.
like okay, like
And it's like, oh,
and
what
people-
are they going to do without a left back?
Yeah.
All they have next to him
Germany
is
played
Thiago
four-
Silva,
Ger-
Marquinhos, Allison, and Eder Militao.
It's not like it's not
No.
like France's fullbacks were like the greatest thing in the world when
No,
they won.
exactly.
Germany won
Fullback?
with no
with
fullbacks.
Hovedez.
Yeah,
Hovedez with their left
Germany
back.
won with
Like-
4 center backs across the back line.
that's my
They had
point.
Mom.
No, he didn't.
Milan
He played
played
center
CDM.
mid, CDM. He didn't. He
CDM.
just played
Right
4
back.
CDMs
Played
along
CDM.
the back. Like
Jesus.
they just played 4 center backs.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That
Is
was
there anybody who's going to show up at World Cup that's going to be
But no,
amazing that we didn't expect?
Valverde. That's
No,
what I think.
That's the guy
I-
you're talking about?
No, that's what he's talking. I think Gakpo's my sleeper
Gakpo's a
guy.
good
That Gakpo's like my James Rodriguez of 2022. In my
Okay, who-
opinion.
and who did
I
you
think
say?
he comes in and just
Valverde.
lights up the tournament.
Because every World Cup's got those
They got that
individual
one guy.
stories.
Last time
then
it
they get
was-
a big move. But
Mar-
like, these guys
Martinelli.
are,
Last time was
Gakpo's a big
Golovin,
move.
but
Who do
everybody
you
kinda knew
got,
Golovin
Christian?
wasn't that good.
Martinelli. I think Martinelli will.
Is he
come in
gonna
and do
play
it.
though?
I think he will.
Where's he
Martinelli
gonna
plays
play?
for Brazil a lot.
Where's he
actually.
gonna play though?
He comes in off the bench a lot, and he
Yeah.
he'll start
Yeah,
some
but like
games.
that's
I
not.
don't know.
And
if
he'll start
I
games.
think it'll be Neymar,
And he
Rafinha,
is
Vinicius.
contributing,
And I think he'll.
He is a
they're
star
gonna
rotation.
rotate.
and
There's too
he's
much star power there. They're
contributing
gonna
this year
rotate.
for Arsenal.
Yes.
Chouameni.
Yeah, I don't even know if he'll play.
That might be. Why?
Well,
Why wouldn't he
he's
play?
He's gonna play.
He's gonna have
Oh,
to.
they have,
Conte
they have,
and
they,
Paul
have, they have
Varane.
injuries now.
He's gonna
so.
have to.
Is Varane? Varane's not fit, is he?
I have no
Brown's
idea. I've
fit.
never
Is
been
he?
any idea. if
Oh,
Brown's fit or
Andrew.
not.
Okay.
All right, so we have to
No,
do
real
this
quick.
because
But think about Germany's defense though. Ginter,
He won't play.
Sula,
It'll be
play.
Schlotterbeck
Timo
and
Kehrer.
it'll be Schlotterbeck and Rudiger.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Or
Dude,
Sula and
You're
Rudiger.
Or
Zach,
Rudiger
Zach,
left
Zach,
center
don't look at me in the eyes and say that any Dortmund defender playing for Germany is like solid.
Buddy, you're
My
also
guy.
keep in mind
You're
they're,
saying
they're
that
next
after
to
we
each
just
other.
pumped them.
Yeah,
After City just pumped them.
yeah, you're saying that, but
No, but I mean,
fucking
no, I didn't.
Rudiger's-
Dortmund hasn't had a competent defense in like God knows how long. Like,
did you see the thing about Neuer though?
what? They
He had 3 surgeries for skin cancer.
Yeah.
when?
For what?
Like recently, like
Yeah.
he's had 3
He's still
surgeries
playing?
for skin cancer.
Yeah,
Fuck,
he's been
jeez.
playing.
Yeah, he's been playing with skin cancer.
Oh,
like-
fair enough.
I'm not gonna lie. I think he overtook Casillas.
He's
and
definitely
Buffon.
overtook Casillas.
I
He's
think
had a longer
I
career.
think he's the best goalie.
He's had a longer career, unfortunately. Because his is just longevity isn't that great.
That dude makes some
unfortunately. He has
nuts.
3
Totally
World.
fair.
He has the World Cup and 3
Give me-
Champions Leagues though.
Give me either
So,
than the third.
Trophy wise, no. I'm not saying trophy wise is not
trophy-wise,
close.
no, but, like, just
but in
pure
terms of like,
Casillas was in the greatest national team of all time.
I'm
and
talking
played
just
for a
like
phenomenal
pure
Real Madrid
ability,
team.
though.
I will say, like,
Neuer.
because
I
he
think
is.
for
dirt.
Casillas, I mean, obviously Neuer is better on the ball, but in terms of shot stopper, I don't think it's even.
I'm
I
not saying,
think
like-
Neuer's a better
I'm saying
shot
like the
stopper.
I think
pure.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm saying
for
like
that.
there was a point where like sure 6-foot Casillas was stopping shit that he shouldn't be ever stopping, but
Yeah.
yes, there have been like keepers. There have been a lot of keepers who have had much longer term longevity careers.
I think just
than, like,
I think
than, like,
Casillas
Casillas
at
had.
his best is
There's
the
a lot
best
now,
we've ever seen a
actually.
goalie.
Like if you're like Buffon, Neuer, there's plenty of guys that are in the similar ilk
There's
who
a
have had
level.
longer spans.
There's a
Like,
level.
again, he won he won a World Cup, 2 Euros, and 3 Champions Leagues in that time. Like it's nothing to
And
scoff
obviously
at.
whatever amount
like-
of La Ligas he won in the process.
And God knows,
too.
and like 3 Elite Leagues, I
And
think it
he
was
also
too.
was competing,
so.
like considering he got a lot of the club competition stuff in a time where he was facing like prime
Yeah.
Barcelona.
I mean,
too,
Neuer's got
so-
like 10 Bundesligas in a row, whatever the fuck that is.
I mean,
but
who fucking
but
cares?
nobody
He
cares.
also-
Well, they
Bundesliga
had
is
to
one of
play-
it's
He has
like
two- hey,
He
doesn't-
would have won a
does he
Balloon
have
d'Or
two?
if Messi and Ronaldo.
He has 2
weren't
Champions
alive.
Leagues, doesn't
Two
he?
Champions
Yeah, he has
Leagues,
2 Champions League.
He would-
Actually,
he would've
and a
won a
World
Ballon
Cup.
d'Or.
So yeah, I mean, Neuer probably is the
Sure.
Neuer probably is the closest on paper. Besides maybe like Buffon.
I think Neuer,
like-
Buffon, I can't think you can't give it to because he didn't win Champions League.
Yeah, Buffon never won.
I know it's a
Champions
team-
League.
it's
I
a
mean, he
team
never had the
award.
best team to do it.
I know it's a
but-
team accomplishment, but I
What,
think it's
what was the last thing? Biggest disappointment?
biggest disappointment. I think I said. I
England.
think it's France.
England.
France.
Just
I
to
don't think
trigger
it's
everyone.
England. I think it's
I-
Belgium.
that's,
I
I
don't
think
know
so.
if
I,
there's
I
any-
think Belgium's
Is there an
Belgium
expectation
should
for
be
Belgium,
better, and
though,
they
I
just
guess?
No,
won't
I don't think anyone really expects much from Belgium anymore because I think everyone kind of acknowledged that
I think it's gonna be-
passed.
they blew
That
it.
time
They-
is past.
their
like,
their
everyone's
time
too
is
old.
done.
But I still think
Too
that
many of
they're
the guys
just-
are
they're
too
gonna
old
do a
now.
lot worse than people think.
I think
Like,
it's just
they
gonna be De
can.
Bruyne running around with a bunch of headless chickens.
They can still get far. Like if they
I don't.
put some
I-
stuff
see, I
together.
don't even
like
think it's a
say that
chance
like
Who's
to
their
get
back
far.
line?
well, I'm just saying there's
There's not a
always the
chance to get
chance
far.
that like maybe the back line would just
Fies from
perform.
Leicester,
Like
Denier,
Fies,
who was a free agent for a month and a half.
Again, you also have to remember like
Yeah, like-
you also have to remember like you're gonna get a guy like Xhaka
Castagna.
who plays like okay for Arsenal, who's been actually
No, he's
really
been
good
been
this
really
season.
good for
But who
Arsenal.
I said usually plays for okay for Arsenal, but has always played great for Switzerland.
Yeah.
And is now playing even better. So he's gonna play even better.
I
Probably
don't know
like
if that's how that
like-
works, but
I mean
Robert Lewandowski scores
yeah.
12 goals in the group stage, and they
I
get
think
knocked out.
Belgium.
Switzerland's actually like
I think Switzerland's an
they're-
alright
Switzerland's
team.
a Denmark-esque
Switzerland's-
team
Yeah.
in terms of
Switzerland
how
will
they
be the only
They
operate.
just don't have the type of quality.
See, the thing is,
They have
I
a
think-
lot of like mid
All
quality.
right, I got to
that's
ask an
across.
important question though because
Yeah.
we have to discuss this.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Does the U.S. make it out of the group?
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking
Yes.
not.
Easy now.
Absolutely.
Now we do.
Fucking
We do.
not.
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
I thought they lost. Isn't somebody hurt now?
I mean,
thought they lost another guy.
We wouldn't if Iran wasn't in the midst of full-blooded revolution.
I think we
If
still destroy Iran.
no, Zach, Iran is
let-
going to lose
one
every
guy at a
game
time.
10-0.
What?
Yeah,
There's
there you
no
go.
like half the players aren't playing. You realize that, right?
A lot of
Because
the
they
players
won't.
are not
They're
going.
not even playing. So
Yeah, I
even
heard
the
some of
half
them
of their
aren't
main
going.
squad,
Oh,
which is
I
Iran.
see it.
Yes,
Oh,
Zach, yeah.
I
Yes,
No,
obviously.
the politics of it is I heard that some of the Iran
I'm not getting
Iranian
political.
players
This is genuinely
are protesting
important.
and
Like
they're
to
not
the
going.
context of what's
no,
going on
I
here.
didn't think you were getting
Like,
political. Cause
Not to mention, Bale has barely kicked a ball in 2
I
years.
still think
Like,
Bale's just gonna.
I
What
don't
I
give a
think it
fuck.
comes down
But
to.
what about
I think
Wales?
It's gonna be,
we have a better team than Wales.
I think it's gonna be who loses, like not as bad to England, and who beats Iran more. I think it's gonna come down
No,
to
I
goal
see what
I
difference
think
with
it's
Wales.
similar. I think it's
I
similar.
think we're gonna
to,
tie Wales.
How many
beat
Wales
Iran,
players in
It's
the
similar
Champions
to
League?
2014. We're gonna get through on goal difference.
Yeah.
How many Welsh players in the Champions League?
If we get through, it doesn't fucking matter.
I don't
Name
Fuck.
one.
It
There's
doesn't
not
fucking
one.
matter.
That's right, because there's not any of them.
Okay, but okay.
Fuck.
Yes, there's U.S. players in the Champions League. Which one of those
Bale's
players
golfing in Los
let me
Angeles right
finish,
now.
Let me finish to counteract your point. Which one of the U.S. players is actually good in the Champions League?
Weston McKennie.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, actually.
He's
One.
so
It's
great
what a
that his
Juventus-
team's already
One.
out.
I mean,
That's
it's
not
not-
his
it's
fault.
defense, it's certainly
He
it's
was in the
and he
Champions
Juventus
League.
being awful is
Did he
certainly
do
not
anything
what's
to help him
getting
survive?
He's
No.
He's one guy.
Well, the problem is we've talked about this all the time.
Competition that's at their level, like at least they're used to it. At least at some
Pulisic
level.
sucks.
Nobody in Wales is.
Aronson can't score a goal.
Pulisic.
Everyone in Wales either is in a lower
Our
league
strikers don't score goals.
Hey, pressure makes diamonds.
Oh, good. Not to mention that everyone in
LeBron
Wales
James.
plays in the championship, who play even more games than all the other players that play God knows how many games all year. Because they play 42.
I think you're overrated.
Hey, all the United States players have
No,
rest.
well,
just
we're
ended.
awful, but we're still better than Wales.
Yeah, but
And
fellas,
Wales isn't
we
good.
still struggle against like
Okay,
fucking Guatemala.
I think we've made our predictions on that. I think Wales beats us.
I think
Wales
I
beats
think we tie
I
them.
think Wales
I
beats
think
us.
I think we tie.
I have no
They'll be
faith in
dead
our.
by the time we get to the
And it's
game.
not that I think Wales is good. I have absolutely no faith in us.
I don't either,
We
but
think
Wales is worse.
we beat
But Wales is-
I
we
think
beat
we're
a
equally
Mexico
as bad.
team that was 900 years old, and we were impressed by ourselves,
You're forgetting
and we
about
haven't
one-
done anything
You're forgetting
since
about-
then.
Yes, on paper, Christian, we are better than Wales, arguably. But with that being said, you're forgetting about the one key factor, and that is we have the worst coach in the entire
Yeah,
tournament.
he's worse
I
than
think it comes
he
down
is the
to
worst.
it's
Is
the
he?
Greg
culture.
Berhalter has to
I
be the worst
agree.
coach in the entire
I
tournament.
agree, but I don't. That
I
doesn't-
feel like I could coach the
Dude,
team
it's
better.
Wales' first
But he's
year
not
in
the
the
most
World Cup,
incompetent.
and how
He's
long?
just, but he's
They're
not the
gonna
most
smoke 'em.
incompetent.
I would say
he's
Greg-
just the
I would-
worst.
I would
The
say
most
Greg
incompetent
Berhalter's
is
incompetent.
Gareth Southgate.
Gareth Bale's
I would
scoring
say
5
Greg
goals against the United
Berhalter's
States.
more
Again, you have to keep in mind my logic for this
I think
group.
if we lose 2-1, Bale scores 2.
Listen, we
Yeah.
have no idea what's going on in America's group. We got Bale, who's literally just only playing golf now.
Bale
he's not
is
even
so
playing
well
soccer
rested.
anymore.
He's so well rested.
He's not even
He's
playing
Bale
soccer
with one
anymore.
leg is
I'm
better than
telling
any
you.
United
He's
States
like,
player
I'm gonna make
ever.
my
I don't give a
cameo
fuck.
appearances.
Bale's winning game
Iran
both.
is literally going to be overthrown.
Bale's
by the
got
time the
golden
World Cup-
boot all sewn up.
Iran's going to be
it to
over.
him now.
He's scoring 6 against the United States.
Listen, here's the thing. Like,
He's ready, man. All those rounds on the golf course, he's ready.
fucking hell.
He's not even going to play in the MLS final. They paid a lot of money for him
And
to
here's
go
the thing,
sit on
like-
the bench in L.A.
Here's the thing.
It's
I told you,
hilarious.
he's
Both
not
of you
playing
look at
this
me.
season. He wants to be ready
Both of
for
you
World
look at
Cup.
me.
He's just trying to be fit for World
How
Cup.
many games are England going to win?
How many games are we going to win?
If you look at me right now and be like, oh yeah, England are going to breeze through, then you're lying to yourself. You know they're going to make it hard for themselves.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
they
like,
will make it hard
That is
for
the
them.
English
win
way.
all 3 games in the group. Easy.
You're going to win all 3 group games.
Well,
Are you?
Iran,
Are
they're
you?
And then
what are you-
lose to Denmark in the round of 16.
Okay.
Do you not know
Fella.
England?
No,
World
I
Cup?
think they'll beat us.
Fella.
They'll beat
They're gonna
Iran
beat
and they'll
they're
tie
gonna smoke
Wales.
Iran.
We're gonna-
They're gonna
everyone's
smoke
gonna smoke
Wales,
Iran.
and they'll beat us.
Nope.
They'll
We're
beat
winning
us,
all 3
they'll beat
games.
Iran, and they're gonna
England's
tie
getting
Wales.
second.
No,
Yep.
shut
Well,
up.
I'm not even lying. I think we're gonna
If you think
we're
we're
gonna
beating
headless
England, you're
chicken our way to
fucking
first.
stupid.
On Black Friday.
We're gonna headless
Where would
chicken
you
our way to
rather be?
first. I can promise you that. And England's gonna get second. Wales is gonna be on the. Bale's gonna be crying because he like can't do a golf swing anymore. And then like it's like, and Iran is literally gonna be like on fire. Like by the time that tournament comes around.
Iran
So
already
like,
is on
All right.
fire.
they
What else you
literally-
got?
So
What else you got over there?
we're good. There's too much chaos in that group going
I
on.
don't
We're
know.
gonna
What else
breeze
you got
through
over
either
there?
I
way.
feel like this is just the World Cup.
We're sneaking through. We're sneaking. Soccer is coming home.
You all right, Zach?
That's all that matters.
Soccer's coming
I
home,
can't believe
Zach.
this dude said we're gonna beat England.
We're gonna beat England.
Zach, what else you got,
So we're
host?
going 3 for 3. Yeah.
We're gonna
You're talking
re-
about England
we're
going
gonna
3 for 3.
repeat. We might-
Do you know the
we
United
might-
States?
We might draw. We might repeat 2010.
No,
We
we're
might.
not. We ain't
You
doing
got
shit.
to know.
Listen,
when
we have
to
a
hold.
Landon
we have a good
Donovan
World
playing?
Cup record against
Know
England.
when
We beat them in the
fold.
World Cup 10 years ago. We beat them in the
Know when
first.
to
Did not beat
walk
them 10
away.
We beat them in the first. We won the
Know
group.
when to run.
We did not beat England in the World Cup 10
We
years
won the
ago.
group.
10 years ago was 2012, and
We
there
won
wasn't a
the
World
group.
Cup that year.
We won the World Cup in 1930.
2 when we faced them in 2010. The only reason
Did
why
we?
we tied.
I think we won the World Cup in like
No
1930.
shit. The only reason we
US?
lied is because we were
Yeah.
so
No
good.
Didn't they win the World Cup
won
like
the
United
80
States
years
never
ago?
won the World Cup.
What are you talking about?
They didn't win something like a
No.
ridiculously
You
long
know,
time
these
ago.
I know what
States.
soccer was in 1930.
No.
They're like, what is that ball you're playing with?
Are you guys playing rugby? You're
English
playing
fella.
rugby?
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, no, I doubt that's even true.
I think in the
It's like, why
40s
rugby? Why would the
Far's
U.S. have
never
been good
went-
at rugby in 1930?
I think in like 34 we went to the semifinal.
ball during World War
Oh,
I. They were like,
yeah.
"Is that rugby?"
I'm pretty sure we went to like the semifinal and like.
We
the
did go to a
30s.
semifinal
We
late.
We
first-
lost to
did.
Belgium. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
There's some stupid
And then Belgium
semifinal we
went down
went
and
to
got
in like
smoked, like,
that
4-0
might be
by,
what
like,
you're
Hungary
thinking
or
of.
whatever the
Actually,
fuck it was.
that actually might be
Yeah.
what he's thinking.
What
of.
am I thinking of?
There is a World Cup where we went to the semifinals for some
way early on.
unbeknownst reason.
think
I have
it's 'cause
no
everybody
idea
else-
why.
I think it was because everybody else was at
Like I think
war.
it's
It was before we went
pre-World
to
War
basically.
II. Like,
That's why I said
think it's
1930.
pre-World
I think it was
War
like
II.
before we went to World War II, basically.
Okay, wait.
I don't think they did the World Cup during the World
Okay,
War. I don't think they did.
Yeah, it was 1930. They got to the final. final.
The fight? No.
No, it was the semis.
It had to be semis.
Semifinals.
Yes, it was the semis.
Semifinals.
We lost to Belgium, right?
I don't think it might be Belgium. I'm not sure.
And Belgium got smoked by Puskás.
I think they got smoked
Puskás
by it would have
murdered
been
them.
Uruguay. I think that's too early for Puskás. I think
Oh, it might
1930.
be
I don't know what I-
1930
Might be
Uruguay won.
I don't know.
Okay, it was semifinals. The U.S. men's team in 1930 advanced to the semifinals and finished third behind Argentina and Uruguay. That's. I knew there was something in 1930 when they were good.
Who they beat? Is it Belgium?
I didn't. I don't
Look
have
up who
that.
they beat. Look up who they. How can you find who they've been behind, but you can't find them?
I'm
He's
just
fourth
because I'm
You
not
can't
looking at a
find-
chart. I'm looking at a
Well,
paragraph.
look up the game then.
I got it.
It doesn't. It doesn't have that in the article.
I'm worried.
It doesn't have that in the article.
Well, look up, dude. Then Google something else.
Yeah,
It
Uruguay-
doesn't
Uruguay
matter.
won.
Yes, I want
Oh,
to
no, we
know.
lost-
I already
we had to have
embarrassed
lost Argentina.
We've been
myself.
looking it up for the last
No,
minute.
someone else. I'm
I believe
done.
it's Argentina.
done.
Argentina lost
Argentina?
4-2. Argentina lost 4-2 in the final.
Was Messi still on the
They either
team?
lost to Uruguay or Argentina.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
Messi was still on the team.
well, there's literally 13 teams in the
Yeah.
tournament.
I think he won
so-
Balloon d'Or
It's
that year
13
too.
teams.
Zabaleta,
How
the
is there
vampire,
how
was
is there an
by,
odd number of teams?
I don't know.
Whoever won last time got a free
Yeah, we
bye.
lost to
Because the
Argentina
world was in a
6-1 the
depression, man.
semifinal.
It was a depression.
Yeah.
How does
We-
that make-
Just to answer your question, Christian, we lost 6-1 to Argentina in the semifinal, and then
Thank you.
Uruguay also beat Yugoslavia 6-1.
My favorite country.
Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
Man.
I love that time. Love it. It's great this time of year in Yugoslavia.
Oh, also, I don't. From the looks of it, there wasn't any other knockout stage. It looks like it was just when you went to the semifinal.
I haven't been home in 12 hours.
Okay. What do you got? You done?
What time are we at?
We're at an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That was the World Cup
definitely at an hour
episode,
by
folks.
now.
We'll save the cartoon
What'd you
character
say?
tier list.
That was the World Cup episode, folks.
Yeah.
If you
Alright,
really
well,
want to see this in person, come to some of the Emerge World Cup parties that we're hosting here.
I'll be
Ooh.
allegedly intoxicated.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
21.
Well, we're gonna.
future
What's the first
employers.
game? Is what? Wales.
Oh,
Wales on Monday
yeah. Wait,
before
did we face
Thanksgiving,
Wales first or Iran?
and
We
then
face
England
Wales
the day after Thanksgiving, and then the next day we're broadcasting the Mexico versus Argentina,
Joining us, England
and
loses
the
all
whatever the
3
2 o'clock
matches.
game is that day. So come out and watch some soccer with people like
I
us.
can't wait to be hammered at noon.
Allegedly.
I'm not I just don't have many faith with England. All right. I know y'all don't agree.
You have more faith
but
with the United States than
I
you
do.
do with England.
I just don't understand.
That's
how-
fucking scary.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not one player on our team that makes into their starting lineup.
It doesn't Zach. But
Yeah,
this is
no.
not based on Zach. It's not
Makes
based
our
on
squad.
paper. It's based on
What one of our players makes their squad even?
all of them.
All right, end the fucking episode.
Yeah, wrap it
I
up,
can't do
please.
this anymore. I'm gonna go smash my head against
Zach,
the wall.
who would you rather have?
Wrap
You
it
do
up.
Both of them.
Say
Listen,
goodbye.
Zach, Pulisic
Say goodnight, Gracie.
See you later.
should easily
Pulisic
Goodbye.
every
every
game.
game
Give me
over
All right,
Sterling,
folks.
give me any
Well,
England.
as the brothers
Over.
are.